Then there is the ever contentious category known as religion. And I'm reading through some of the so-called religious plates that got the kibosh, and it does not make sense. Such as a blessing, somehow that's offensive. Apparently anything that has to do with angels, that's under the ban. And then anything that has to do with hell, such as Hellman, Hellboy, Hellpawn, Hell's Fury. Yeah, so in Brampton, you can manufacture the Dodge Challenger Hellcat, but don't you dare say Hellcat on an Ontario license plate. David Menzies for Rebel News here in Toronto. And folks, before I get to my story, please, if you can, go to journalistdefensefund.com. If you're able to make a donation, that would be wonderful. Sometimes we have lawyers to pay, sometimes it's bodyguards, but it's worth it when it comes to bringing you the other side of the story. So, say you have $310 burning a hole in your pocket. Maybe you want to buy a vanity plate, one of those custom jobs to state what you like or don't like and drive around the province with that on your vehicle. Well, you'd probably come to a Service Ontario outlet like the one in this mall, but you knew I was at a Service Ontario outlet, didn't you, folks? Because this lineup is stretching all the way from the parking lot to the sidewalk, reminiscent of bread lines in Moscow in the Soviet Union days. But I digress. Here's the deal. The province recently released its list of rejected personalized plates. And wow, what a list it is. 24 pages long. You can have your plate rejected for a number of reasons pertaining to several different categories. And when I reached out to the ministry, I was told that all personalized license plates are subject to review by the designated nonpartisan staffers who comprise the Personalized License Plate Review Committee. Almost sounds Orwellian, doesn't it?
This organization will not tolerate failure.
And why would your vanity plate be rejected? Oh, there are so many reasons. For example, abusive, obscene language, and derogatory slang. Now, I guess since these plates are technically property of the province, you don't want F-bombs driving around the road, but still, one of the plates that was rejected that stands out for me is the 7 word. Is that, I suppose, in reference to the late great George Carlin, the comedian who once did a great riff on the 7 words you can't say on radio or TV.
I mean, there are a lot of words you can say whenever you want, Pneumonia! Nobody gives you a lot of... All right, you can't yell it in the hospital a great deal, but what the hell?
The other category is clarity and readability, and that's kind of odd. I was looking at so many of the rejected plates, hundreds of them actually. I'll pick one at random. Bees spelled as B-E-E-E-E-E-S. I don't understand what's not clear, what's not legible about that. And it's kind of rich, isn't it, folks? I mean, when these license plates were introduced last year, that's the redesign, you can't read them at night. So when it comes to legibility and clarity, maybe Doug Ford might want to look at the contract in which we now have license plates that are, as I said, completely unreadable once the sun goes down. Now, another category where multiple personalized plates were rejected was under drugs and alcohol, but again, I scratch my head and raise a Spockian eyebrow. Alcohol is legal, certain drugs are legal, so why is 0420 an illegal plate? By the way, I have some skin in the game here. That's my birthday, April the 20th, but apparently even referring to cannabis culture is a no-go zone, even though marijuana is legal in Ontario. Now, my favorite category for banning personalized license plates is human rights discrimination. Essentially because, folks, it makes no sense whatsoever. For example, any reference to COVID-19, such as COVID, COVID-19, COVID-20, COVID number, COVID with a K-19, that was banned under the proviso of human rights discrimination. How is referring to this pandemic crippling the planet as somehow running afoul of human rights discrimination? Is the Doug Ford government worried about offending the mandarins in Beijing? Then there is the ever contentious category known as religion. And I'm reading through some of the so-called religious plates that got the kibosh, and it does not make sense. Such as a blessing, somehow that's offensive. Apparently anything that has to do with angels, that's under the ban. And then anything that has to do with hell, such as Hellman, Hellboy, Hellpawn, Hell's Fury. Yeah, so in Brampton, you can manufacture the Dodge Challenger Hellcat, but don't you dare say Hellcat on an Ontario license plate. And the final category that resulted in dozens and dozens of plates being disqualified is sexual and eliminatory functions. And under that, we have things like Blue Pill, Honey Wagon, Naughty Boy. Naughty Boy? That's too risque for Ontario. I mean, what is this? Is this 1820 or 2020? Naughty Boy. Anyways, it is all so perverse. It is all so arbitrary. What I would say when it comes to license plates is, why don't we put a little less time into eliminating so-called offensive license plates? And how about this, Doug Ford, since Ontario is allegedly open for business? How about opening some more Service Ontario franchises so that these poor people don't have to spend, 90 minutes to 2 hours getting to get a license plate that might be rejected in the first place. For Rebel News, I'm David the Menzoid Menzies. Hey folks, we love to bring you the other side of the story, so please help us out by going to journalistdefensefund.com and making a donation.